bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time. What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time. What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.
What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear my voice? People, someone, real quick, because let's not go freaking out. Let's not say freaking out, but let's just ask that question. Get myself a little bit more centered here. Please, someone drop a "We can hear you, homie." Chill the f out and get on with the show. Uh, I know MP's driving, so I'm counting on Brofit or Anthony or Dylan. Dylan's driving too. They're all doing. These guys are busy. They're never gonna tell me, and I'm panicking here. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. If it's Streamyard, if it's iPhone, if it's AirPods, what the combination of it is, but for whatever reason, the thing just doesn't work. So like, I wasn't hearing any music in the intro. I wasn't hearing any sound effects. I refreshed. I turned my phone off. I didn't turn my phone off, but you know, I made sure my AirPods were working. So I went into my Apple Music and hit play on a song, was jamming out to some Pitbull for a second there. And then I came back into the show. I asked Brofit, can you hear anything? He gave the thumbs up. So I'm assuming you guys all hear this shit. Of course, you're all busy. You're all still driving. None of you has given me a thumbs up anywhere, not even on Twitter or X or Facebook. So this could be my first ever silent show. Just kidding. Technical difficulties are real. Um, I really should, as a paid StreamYard user, look more into help and support. When it comes when it comes to I didn't even say good morning. Good morning, Brian. Thank you for stopping by. Love you, buddy. Miss you. Good morning, MP. I am so sorry that you're sitting in traffic on the bridge to Philly. Why are you? Why? Why is that? Is that like a job you're going to? MP finally gave me the thumbs up, but then he drops this saying he's just reading my lips, so it's all good. Okay, well, understand me however you need to. And there's Dylan, our little fly. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Um, okay, so I'm guessing you can hear me, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move past it. Technical difficulties, I'm the worst when it comes to this stuff. I just find a way to work around things rather than complain and ask for support and all that other stuff. I know it's not the best way to do it, but you know, that's just the way I am, I guess. I just figure it out. I have to visit a customer, try to make it quick because I hate leaving the shop. Gotcha. Yep. Yep, it's tough. It's tough sometimes. You get in your little your groove. You got your shop. It's all laid out the way you want it. Your stuff's there. It's where the majority of your work is. Yeah, I understand. Makes sense. All right, people, let's do this shit. I got a page of notes. I'm steady on the notes. I write way too much. It is what it is. I'm in the writing mood in the morning, hyped up, ready to go. We got a lot to cover just because my life is monumentous. I hope y'all's life is monumentous. I think that's been the real benefit of this show. And I mean, I say that so much, but this show, this book, this perspective on life, this be friends thing, like all these kind of lessons of like slowing down, enjoying the moment. And then, because I kind of come on here and shoot the shit with you guys about what's going on, I think I'm really starting to have like a deeper love and appreciation for my life. And I like that. It's really cool. I've been really happy lately. Even on the days where I'm having rough days, it's very easy to transition into happy moments. So I hope I hope that's coming across. I hope that's coming across with some gratitude and appreciation for all of you who've been watching and giving me this platform, making me feel safe and supported and all of that stuff. And I also hope that every one of you finds that and gets that. And if it takes you starting your own competing show at the same exact time as me, then that I'm game for that. Oh, look at this. Second to last day of school. Woo woo. All right. Make these last 2 days count. Go out with a bang, all that kind of stuff. Congratulations to another completed school year. I'm sure you changed the life, the course, the trajectory of at least one kid, if not multiples. Just knowing the person you are and the stock that you come from, assuming that you got all the good that your brother obviously didn't get. So, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying hello. And have a good day. Have a good day. Yep, exactly. Go out there and have a good day. Appreciate it. Most likely just one. That's fine. Look, just one. I mean, and even if it's 1%, I mean, I know our friend, hi Anthony, just because I can see on Twitch that he's listening in the background, but he has a book about how grade school teachers changed his life. And, some of them were just in the simplest way, others were a lot bigger. And, funny enough, this all ties into today's reading. Don't just assume it'll work out. Do the work. Put in the work day in and day out. Good morning, Bukes. Have the best day, everyone. And he's wishing you all a bunch of coffee. Not me, because I got a drawer full of Celsius, so I'm good. Oh, guys, the other day, so I think I've told you I was putting my deets into Chat GPT and asking it to help me with some personal training goals and stuff like that. Good morning, Ron. I need coffee and ice. Yeah, you do. And so one of the things it was like, you know, get some protein shakes to supplement, you need a lot more protein than you're getting. And my wife drinks these protein shakes, but hers are made with like a cup of coffee. So I had half of one. I swear I was going to have a heart attack. I know Celsius has more of the milligrams or the same amount of milligrams of caffeine or whatever, but I think my body is immune to it now. Whereas like having a half a cup of coffee, like it gave me the jitters. I mean, it was also the second thing I drank that morning besides water. So third thing I drank that morning after a Celsius. So I was on a whole can of Celsius and half a cup of coffee. But man, I was flying. So, anyways, I went and got protein shakes that didn't have coffee in them. And I was like, honey, you keep that to yourself. So I don't know where I went with that, but get into my notes. Because we're already 11 minutes into this bitch. I'm not gonna get I'm gonna have to speed read through my life. Guys, gratitude today was my family. Just like I said earlier, I'm absolutely vibing with and loving my family. It was a really good day yesterday. mother-in-law was in town, so she picked up Brooklyn from school, which allowed me to pick up Bentley from school, and I surprised him. And we walked to my car, and the basketballs were in the car, and we went to the park and shot some hoops. Unfortunately, it was both sun's out, blazing hot, and super windy, so it wasn't that comfortable, so we didn't last very long. We went home, hung out with grandma, and gratitude today is daily dads and the couch. Been busy and tiring couple weeks. Lucky to have you all. Yeah, good, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you always here. So that was a fun thing. Work was mid. Like I got through some stuff. I got a no from a client that I've been working on trying to get their job for, let's see, it feels like a year, and they've just been pushing it off and having city problems and stuff like that. So I got a big fat no on a job that I felt like decently locked in on. So that was upsetting, and it was the age old no. I've heard this one so many times where it's like, "Oh, we were bidding against you and another person, and like we really liked you, and then we started asking our friends, and then they recommend this person, and come to find out this person remodeled like 3 or 4 houses, blah 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 blah. So we're just gonna go with them." It's like, what? Like a year's worth of relationship building? And like, so a little frustrating, pushed it aside, like had a good day, like I said. Bentley basketball. Brooklyn went to Top Golf yesterday for a field trip. I have no idea how it went because I barely saw her and she barely talked to me yesterday. Feeling like our paths right now are like in different directions. I feel this. I'm chilling today. I've crushed Friday through today. I'm gonna have a reset day today. Nice. Let's go. Gratitude. Spent quality time with my wife yesterday. Go on. Got to go out to breakfast without kids. Had a chip and putt session at Lock Golf Course. Worked out at Dang, this guy. And then came out of volleyball retirement last night and didn't get hurt. Look at this guy. I'm assuming like all of that wasn't with your wife. I think it was to breakfast without kids. But if she went on any of those other adventures with you, that's really cool. But that's awesome, dude. I also came home early yesterday and had some alone time with my wife. It's become a Tuesday Wednesday tradition for us. Um, Go on with. I mean, like it's weird to talk about this, guys, but it should be talked about. The go on between workout and lunch in the middle of the day. That look, that's what I was saying too when I was like, I got some alone time with my wife. Uh, Samesies, buddies, samesies. Maybe even around the same time. Like we should have high-fived. But yeah, and come post-workout routine. Yeah, get that heart rate pumping again. We call that a little afternoon delight. Yeah, guys, we're here for it. Um, Anyways, where's I gonna go with that? Today is essentially the last day my wife and I were talking about that is possible or easily possible because Thursday all the kids get out early, like way too early for me to even get home, and Thursday's the day I stay late anyways. And they're out of school. We don't have we call it naked cuddle time in our house. Um, we don't have that. So, anyways, this is a weird transition, but I'm trying to go back to where I was in my notes. Uh, um, Brooklyn was at Top Golf. I want to know how that went because that sounds fun. But what she really came home, I sing that after afternoon delight. There we go. What she did, what she did talk about yesterday, which is hilarious, is so what I did yesterday after the show is I went into the back end and I clipped some of the show, and I actually just posted it on X so if you want to see it. But I clipped, and I'm getting better at my clips. I clipped like the title screen, and then I clipped some of the show, and I even like made little cuts. So I clipped some. parts of the show yesterday where I was talking about my daughter Brooklyn and how proud I am of her dance class and all the hard work she's doing and stuff like that. And then I sent it to her in the morning and she didn't say anything. Like she just had like a face with like the crying eyes. So that could go one way or another. Like, Dad, I'm so embarrassed, or Dad, you're so sweet. But come to find out, she went and showed it to mom and was all braggy, like to mom, and then like went and showed it to her friends at school and then showed it to grandma. So that was really cool. Um, and the other, speaking more of Brooklyn, the yesterday, it was a Brooklyn day yesterday. She wanted to dye her hair purple. We have the like home kits for purple and blue and red, and her blue has faded and now it's like a bleached at the bottom. So mom was like, "Oh, I'll dye it." My wife has dyed her own hair and each of the girls' hair many times. Like we're talking over 20 times in the lifetime, maybe getting close to 50. This time she could not find, or we didn't have any, but it like had to be done. Like it was kind of those situations. Gloves. So she didn't wear a glove. I posted a picture on Instagram. I can throw one up on X because I know we're all on X. Her hand, like down here, was purple, but all four of these fingers were completely black. Like like every inch of her skin, like as her palm faces, completely black with dye. And she scrubbed for 2.5 hours and still has dye on her hand, but you can actually see her fingers. So, PSA, when you're dyeing your kid's hair, wear gloves. That's why there are gloves in the box. They are reusable, but I don't think my wife knew that or washed them or kept them whatsoever. So that was the big story of yesterday. Oh, and then of course, as the night goes on, I'm getting very exhausted. I'm playing a lot of Uno with Bentley, which was cool because we weren't on the video games. I've started to say no to Roblox. And so we pushed into Uno, played a couple rounds of that, and then I was getting tired. Guys, I lost my energy. And I started to look and I was like, oh, 7:30. It's coming up on bedtime. Let's go. I'm excited. And so I go to kiss my wife goodnight. She goes, "Dude, it's Tuesday. It's dance class night. You're supposed to stay up and put Bentley to bed." And I like my world just shattered. And I was like, "Honey, no." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, damn it. So that was difficult. That was a wreck. Bailey ended up stepping up and putting him to bed. And I went to bed at a decently normal time. So again, why my gratitude is centered around my family? Because yesterday was a great family day. My wife, my mother-in-law, my children, they all GG'd me. It was a good game for sure. Happy Wednesday, Brett DeVito over on Facebook. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in over there on Jason's page. Appreciate you, dude. Brett's Brett's I don't know how Brett does it. Like the Brett the Brett DeVito, like what he accomplishes on Instagram, the stories, like I speed through them, dude, but appreciate you, man. Always sharing everybody's stuff. That's the guy that knows everybody. Thank you, man. Happy Wednesday. All right, we gotta get into reading, I guess. This reading was a good one today. It was a good reminder. It was a good reminder of something we kind of know, we kind of forget. It's hard to see, it's hard to understand, but you know, the the gist of it is, like the title says, don't just assume it'll work out. Don't just assume because you're doing a little better than your parents, or because, you're happily married or currently married versus, divorced and single parent that you had. Don't just assume that just because you're doing a little bit more, that it's going to work out for your kids. Kids are like the lottery. Kids are like anything in life, like sports. You can train and jujitsu. You can train and practice until you're blue in the face, But when it all comes down to it, you get down on the mat, you get on the plate, you're going against someone who's also done that. And that's life. And so you can do everything in your power to do it, and they can still turn out, you know, mid, not that great, bad even. You hope it's on the other end of the spectrum. You hope it's good, great, wonderful, awesome. And most likely they all will. I like to live in an optimistic state of mind. I like to live in an assumption that it'll all work out because my plan is to never stop. And that's what this page says is never stop being there, never stop supporting them, never stop modeling, what a good person is, what a good life is. Um, that's kind of what this reminder is. I like to think of our our elder statesmen in the group, the K saves, the Ron Jordans, the Davids, the Craigs and the wow, I was gonna say Keith again, but the Craigs and the Naths. No, Naths isn't an older dad. It's the Craigs. That's right. I had it right. There we go. But the elder people in our lives that we hang out with here that have crossed through our paths, that have taught us, that putting in the work. I'll stop when I'm dead. I mean, MP's there right now. We're doing it, and we just got to keep it up. I, you know, I'll say it again. That's why I love being here. We're helping each other, understand that even in the hard days, and I've had the hard days, you've had the hard days, we've all had the hard days. Just lock in. Take a quick moment to reassess and get right back into it. Dust yourself off. All those little sayings from sports, man. I feel like an old sports movie right now, but it's all true. Life's gonna kick you down, and you just got to keep going back at it. So that was my take mostly on the reading. No guarantees, right? That was the first part. No guarantees that even if you put in all that work, you're a man, you're tired, deal with it. Yeah, buddy. Yep. Keep going. Rough reminder here. Work never stops, but also even as hard as you work, I'm reading this stuff. And then the question of the day in the journal was, what behavior do you want to model more intentionally this week? And for me, it was kindness, it was empathy, it was compassion, it was those doubling down on those nice, kind traits and really trying to transition my family this coming year into just a better versions of ourselves, just a more loving and caring family. We did have a thing between Brooklyn and Bentley where she picked up a toy and she was like, "Mom, do you want to play?" Bentley came out of the bathroom and was like, "That's my toy," and basically took it from her and then started playing with it. And she was very much like, "See, he only wants to do this because I don't want him to play with it." And my wife was like, "You guys just need to talk better to each other. Why don't you try asking him nicely?" So after a couple of rounds of not asking him so nicely, she slowly, gradually started to ask him nicely. And then Amy and Brooklyn had a side bet going on where Brooklyn was like, "There's no way he ever says yes. It doesn't matter how nice I act him." Then mom was like, "I'll give you $5 if he never says yes." And he never said yes. So it was funny, but also like there's a lot of work to be done in my household, basically, is what I'm getting at. So that's my goal forever and always to 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 work on that with my kids, to undo the damage I've already done with my family and my mindset, right? But I tell my employees when they ask me what drugs I'm on because I never stop moving, I don't have time to complain. And then our daily stoic lesson of the day was wait, where was something about read? Oh, it was this daily stoic day was about reading, was about quality over quantity. Did I say that right? Quality over quantity. It was about which is strange. It was out in the middle of nowhere, quality over quantity. I think you can push that into lessons and everything like that. But it was a strange one out there. It made me question, like, is next month the reading month uh, in the Stoic book? But yeah, it was about, there's millions of books out there, and to speed read through all of them is never gonna you're never gonna get there. You're never gonna get close enough to say you read them all or read enough or anything like that. So pick pick a quality amount of books, pick a quality amount of authors, pick a quality amount of topics, and just double down. Essentially what that reading was. So maybe I didn't read it properly. I don't know. I just wrote the topics on what I'm reading on. It's stoicism, it's parenting, it's love and marriage, and it's growth. And I kind of have a couple of authors, Ryan Holiday being one of them. I will read and reread. I listen to his podcast. He has authors on there. The way they talk about their books or their life, if I vibe with it, I pick up the book. It's kind of how I felt Gary V, all that stuff. Yeah. And one of the last things I wanted to note, which I didn't actually write in my notes, so I'm thankful that I remembered it. A little reminder, everybody, today is Wednesday. That is it canon? I hate that fucking name so much. Is it canon podcast day? So it was released this morning, and it's a good one. It actually, I'm not all the way through it, but they go over the Be Friends for Teachers comic book, and they talk a lot about their life as parents. So it is very applicable to why we are here. It almost makes me want to comment that Ann and Tom really should have a parenting podcast, because they are both parents and they both have, a lot to say. Tom went in on a story that his son had where, a kid teased him at his birthday party this weekend, and, so they were, talking about how that looks, how that works, why that kid did that, showing him empathy because he probably has, something going on at home or behind the scenes that's making him want to lash out on all the other kids. And, we get a little where I'm in the segment where they're done reading the comment, and now they're doing a segment where they asked questions of their audience, and they're talking about their personal lives. So getting to know Ann and Tom a little better. And I like that. I love that. I appreciate that. I like both of those people. They're great. We all know and love them. So check out the Is It Canon podcast, because it's a good one. It is a good one. And yeah, that's the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties this morning. It is what it is. I'm glad you guys can all hear me. Appreciate you all for hanging with me, showing up. We had Brofit in the house, MP, Dylan, the Bukes, Caitlin popped in, our friend Ceased the Game. Who else was in here? I know there was one other. Where did you go? And Brett DeVito on Facebook. That's right. I knew you were in there. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all as always. Tomorrow is Thursday, as MP and I both know. It's the greatest day of the week. It's the last day of work. You just got to knuckle that one day out, and then you get the weekend, buddy. And then you really got to go to work. So, we don't rest, as he said. We don't stop. You're tired, deal with it. When I'm tired, I go to bed. But thank you guys. Appreciate you all. I'm going to play the music, even though I cannot hear it. Hope you guys can hear it, because otherwise it's going to be awkward silence while you see me waving and putting the video on. Thank you all. Have a great day. Ryan Turner, take us
What's up,
out.
bitches? What's up?
Say something.
Wake up.